So then we are back with more understandings from the time of the second tabernacle services, where we find the Aramaic English translation of the word. This translation comes from the original manuscripts of the prophets of the Tzaielic lineage. So then we can understand the time of the end. As per YOM the prophet, we find layers of understanding of the spring feast, the autumn feast, and also the returning of the cities of the Mashiach laid waste from many centuries. As we read it in YOM the prophet, it is important layering these understandings with Revelation, because Daniel and Revelation, they are linked, and Revelation is truly related with the autumn feast, and this truly relates also with the time of the restoration period. Now, there are the steps of formation regarding then the weakening of the system, precisely then on Daniel the 11th chapter, and you find sections in the 21st verse. Obviously the writing is in Hebrew, and the situation relates with the weakening of a pre-established system. Now, these holy instructions related with the Torah, the prophets, gives the Gentile understanding in their own part of the plans of Yod-Heh-Vav-Heh. He is the force in making the plans, and these plans are delineated then on Daniel the 21st chapter. Now, the focus point of this particular section of Daniel relates with a weakening of a system because of what YOM had previously prophesied. Now, Daniel was familiar with the holy instructions, and he was a judge. But not only he was a judge, he was related with understandings of trade. Daniel was a tradesperson more than a judge. Why do I say this? Because if you read the content, what's going on in this particular portion, it does not relate with tabernacling. So the wordings used on the 11th chapter of Daniel, you find that then trade is the main focus of this particular portion of the restoration period and of the 12th chapter. Now, people, they want the future shaped in a certain way. So as the holy nation, many times they made huge mistakes. This country also has made huge mistakes, such as building up a holy city in Mountain View with the 12 gates. And it shows you that the religious aspect, when there is not referenced with the holy instructions, can become a bit unique. So then what Daniel is explaining is a section related with YOM, because YOM has given us many portions of the dynamics of the countries during the time of the restoration. So Ishmael was the first son, and the Arab nations derived from the relationship of Abraham or Ibrahim and his wife Hagar, and she was an Egyptian. She was from the land of Mitzrayim. So as such, there is a birthplace of the sons of Ishmael. So the point of the weakening of the system is directly related with the first son of Ishmael. It does not say it's their fault. It's simply from a grand scope of divine understanding. There is initiation, and there is a midpoint where then this particular half of the anointing of Ibrahim or Abraham is then exercised during this time of the restoration period. Restoration of the holy cities that were laid waste for many centuries. Speaking of tabernacling, Ezekiel gave us a whole lot more understanding. So our country yet is experiencing a weakening of the system. We understand these thousands upon thousands upon thousands of jobs that they are promising is absolutely a blunt lie. The government is nearly bankrupt. And the understanding of YOM regarding then the violent ones beyond the rivers of Ethiopia indicates a very strong link from Daniel, what YOM had explained because of situations related with trade during the time of Daniel and during the time of the restoration period in the future and the autumn feast. Now, when people don't take the time, they don't study the holy language, they don't study the holy instruction, they can barely speak their own language. And since YOM has stated, teach your children diligently the words of this holy Torah, it indicates there are these structurings that must be established, and it's not given by the Spirit without the person taking the time and studying it. So during this time of the restoration period, speaking of tabernacling, and the transition of trade from the west towards the east, we find then the sons of Ishmael at the moment in a position where they are finding and identifying the true identity given by Ibrahim or Abraham. That's why then the government of Egypt, Mitzrayim, has decided of building a brand new city. It's truly an icon where then the sons of Ishmael should have this city ready post haste. So then indicate their identity. And this was given before, because this was the birthplace of Ishmael. So then, because of the importance of these holy instructions, because of the intricacies of the time of the restoration period, we find then Africa at the moment awaiting the West's help of organizing these countries beyond the river of Ethiopia, and then recognizing the importance of their trade and using their monetary system with our system, so then our economy can start recuperating from this economical stalemate. So then coltan, rare minerals, obviously is the very center of this refurbishment of many of the countries in Africa. So then, while this taking place, then the sons of Ishmael taking control of their own identity in organizing their groups, and the rendezvous place is obviously in the new capital of Egypt. So lots of new information. Also, the Soviets are building up their arsenals. So it's showing that Daniel, the 11th chapter, is absolutely precise, and the events are very important. And these sections then should be studied with more time in Hebrew, so then later on Revelation then can be explained. So please stay tuned, much more coming up.